Good morning, this is Kelly Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and we're here with Technique Tuesday. And today I'm going to be talking about a hat that I made, and it's called the Paragon Toque. But before I get started with that, I wanted to go ahead and mention a few things about that are going on at Alpaca Direct. And one of them is the knit along that starts on the 10th of this month. And it's Michelle Hunter knit along. It's her very last knit along. And so I'm very excited to be able to join in on that, and I will be making it myself, as well as a lot of our other staff members here at Alpaca Direct. And I wanted to let you know that we finally got the stock in. You know, it was sold out everywhere. And this is called Simplicity Spray, and we have several colors here that we have in stock. Very, very pretty. Let me read the content of this yarn to you. So it's 55% merino superwash, 28% acrylic, and 17% nylon. 456 yards. And it recommends a US 4 to a 6 needle. So it's right around a DK weight. And it is a super nice and soft yarn. It's the yarn that Michelle's going to be using, and I think this is the actual colorway that she's knitting hers out of. And then it requires a couple skeins of this Simplicity by Haiku. Whoops! And I have this little plaque here, and it shows which ones we have in stock right now. So it's totally awesome.
It's called the Audition Cowl?
Yes, it's called the Audition Cowl. And let me show you the little spray here. And this one, it has the same content. And so we're going to be using 2 of the Simplicity and 1 of the Simplicity Spray by Haiku. So we'll see how that goes along, but it's going to be starting on the 10th.
And it's already going out the door, so we just got it in today.
So if you want to join in on the knit along, it is not too late to go ahead and start. And the first clue is going to be on Thursday. And we know it's going to be somewhat, what is the actual description that she talks about? It's going to be some sort of a shawl. And so, anyway, and we're going to be taking skills that we've learned in the past and using them differently. And Michelle is a fantastic teacher. She's been teaching, well, she taught for like more than 30 years. And then she retired. And when she retired, she used her teaching skills to teach us how to knit. So totally wonderful.
There's a question that says, why is this her last knit along?
You know what? She is going to be spending time with her grandchildren. And her grandchildren, I guess she is, her family has been expanding. So she wants to spend time traveling and, you know, spending time with her family. And so I don't know that, I think the website will still be available is my understanding. And so you'll be able, still have access to her YouTube videos. And I don't know if she'll be, you know, if she's gone permanently, but I think that she wants to spend time with her family. So totally understandable. But taking advantage of this and learning new skills from her while we can is a great opportunity and well worth it. If you've ever joined in on her knit alongs, we always learn something new. And she's a fantastic teacher. Also, I wanted to let you know that our knit club went out. This is this month's knit club. And so it went out in the mail, and I won't spoil the surprise, but we'll be talking about the knit club project next week. And when everyone gets their project and they see what it is, and then we'll be talking about that.
Tell them a little bit about, just to give them a hint about what you were trying to accomplish with this knit club that went out, so they can have an idea.
Oh, yes. Okay, so what I tried to accomplish, just a couple of the things that I tried to accomplish. Of course, I love seamless designs, and then I was trying to get the stitches to go in a particular direction. And so, and I'm also using a nice, warm, chunky weight yarn. So I'm really excited about this knit club. And if you guys learn how to, these new skills, you'll be able to create many of these. And so totally exciting. I won't talk about any more than that because I don't want to give it away.
It's an alpaca yarn though, right?
It has alpaca in it, yes, and it's wonderful. So I'm sure everyone will enjoy that. So now we're back to this Paragon Toque that I knit last night. And the reason why I kind of waited till last minute wasn't really. It's I just got back from the knitting retreat, and I was able to spend time with my friends and help them with their projects. And so I worked a little bit on a few things, but I didn't work on my hat until last night. So the good thing about this is this Paragon Toque by Very Busy Monkey is a pattern that we sell on Alpaca Direct. And what's lovely about it is it's a lot of bang for the buck, I think, because in other words, what I mean by that is that it looks beautiful and it's relatively simple. So even a beginning knitter can do this. And if you look at the pattern here, we have a small hat and a larger hat, and one has a 16 stitch repeat and the other one has an 18 stitch repeat. So of course, the first thing I do is I know what dimensions fit my head. Like I look in my closet and I measure that hat, the width-wise and the length-wise. And if you notice here, this one is my pocket slouch hat, right? It's a free pattern on Alpaca Direct too. And it's a hat that I designed to be able to crumple up and put in my pocket. And it's made out of Simply Korea, which is super baby alpaca, which is super soft and super warm, super lightweight. You can barely feel it. So anyways, I just wanted to show you for fit purposes. This one's called a pocket slouch, so it's a little bit taller. Yes, and this hat here is my hat. And do you see something about that? They're just about exactly the same size. Isn't that cool? So what I mean by that is making a hat that fits and learning how to make hats that are the size that you like for your head is really valuable, because then you know when you wear your hats, they're not going to fall off your head and they're not going to cover your eyes and they're not going to be, annoying in one way or another. They just fit your head. So that's kind of what my goal was for this week, is to make a hat that fits. So the way I did this is not only do I know the measurements that I need to make my hat, but the first thing I do is look for reviews. And I found there are reviews on this project on Ravelry. So I went to Ravelry and just, research what problems did people have, or what good things about the pattern. And almost every single review, people love the pattern. And if you look at the pattern really close, can you zoom in on that, Jim? Mm-hmm. The pattern is really pretty, and it's made with just SSKs and knit two together and then increases. And so it's a very pretty pattern. And I was doing it and I was reading reviews and I'm going, what problems did they have? And a couple of the problems that they had were, some people on this pattern, it calls for yarn overs as a source of an increase, right? So they do the SSKs and knit two togethers to make the actual the diamond shapes. And then they have to increase those stitches back in by using the yarn overs. Well, for some people, the yarn overs created a hole that that wasn't fixed by knitting through the back loop. So to me, I thought, well, people had said they had problems with holes. I'll just do a make one right and a make one left. And that closed the holes right up. So I will show you those in just a moment. That's a good idea, Jim. So as we're going along, we have a contest. And the way that you enter to win is post comments in the comments section. Let us know what you're working on, and you're entered to win. So for this last week, we had this lovely pure alpaca by Cascade. And it's a worsted weight, 100% baby alpaca, and it's what I made my hat out of. Totally lovely, nice and soft. So I love alpaca hats. If you've heard me mention before, it's almost the only thing that I make hats out of. Unless there's a particular reason, the hats that I wear myself are made from alpaca, because I get extremely cold. And that's how I found alpaca, is that I'm always cold. So the prize for this week is this Amano Eco Alpaca. And the reason why I wanted to have this for the prize this week is that on this hat, a lot of people found that it ran a little bit big. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you used the pattern and knit the large size, but put it in with the finer weight yarn? That way you wouldn't have to kill the yarn to get your hat small enough so that it wouldn't fall off your head because it's too big, or cover your eyes. So this week I thought we could do this kind of heathered brown, or the kind of reddish brown. So you guys choose which one you like the best, and we can send out the one that you like the best for the prize.
So what should they type in? Heather or red, or what do you want?
Heather or brown.
Okay, so show them which one's Heather.
Heather.
Okay, because they kind of look similar here.
And then brown.
Okay.
So it's almost got like a red tint to it a little bit. Very pretty. Wonderful yarn. So back to our pattern. So now, when I looked at the reviews and I found out that, hey, the pattern runs large, I thought, well, I am going to choose the small size then. Okay, so I chose the small size. And of course, when you're doing your ribbed brim, and I don't think it said this in the pattern, let me check. Because in the brim, I like to knit the brim with a needle that's about 2 sizes smaller. So on mine, I did a number 3 for the brim and a number 5 for the pattern. And in here, it just says a US number 6. And you can kind of see in the hat that the brim is about the same size as the actual hat. But for me, I like a hat to stay on my head. I don't want it to be sloppy on my head, because if it's sloppy at all, guess what? It falls off. And so I don't like that, because I'm always busy, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll run right out of it and end up losing it because it fell off my head, or I shoved it in my purse, or, left it on a chair, or what have you. So I don't want to lose my project that I spent a long time knitting. And so I make that brim 2 sizes smaller. So 3 for the brim and 5 for the hat. Now, when I finish, the fabric that is created is pretty nice. I almost wish that I could have knit it with the number 6, but I think it would have been too wide on my head. That's why I was saying maybe dropping down to, instead of using a worsted weight, maybe using a DK weight yarn would be good. Or this Amano Eco Puna, if you use the large size hat, and then you could keep it nice, soft, and squishy, and still get a hat that's at the accurate dimensions for your head. So that's pretty cool. Just a couple of things to think about. So I'm going to spend 1 second and show you beginners how to do the SSK. And I'll show you the knit two together, but most of you will know how to do that. So let's just take a look at this here. I have my yarn ready this morning. I'm all ready to show you. So
we got a lighter color so they can see better.
Yes, I always use this teal color because I don't know, I like it. It's easy to see and it's
So what is it you're showing them here?
So I'm showing them how to do SSK, and I'm going to reach over for 1 second, Jim, and I'm going to grab the pattern. So if we look at the pattern here, here's the chart that I was using, and I chose this smaller size. So if you look at it really carefully, there's the yarn overs for your increases, and then on the next round, which is the resting round, you would be knitting through the back loop to close up those yarn overs. So for me, when my diamond shape was going off to the right, I did a make one left, and then over on the other side I did a make one right. So, but you could do a make one left for all of them. I think consistency is key. If you're consistent in what you're doing, then it's gonna look good. So here is our slip knit. So I am going to slip 1 stitch as if to knit. So you go into the stitch as if you're going to knit it, but you just slip it from the left hand needle over to the right hand needle, and then you slip the next stitch as if to knit, and then you hold those 2 stitches in the front and knit them through the back loop. Let's see if we can do that one more time. So I'm going to knit away from that, and then I'm going to slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit. Take your left hand needle and hold the stitches in the front and knit it through the back loop. And let me do that one more time. Slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, hold the stitches in the front with your left hand needle and knit it through the back loop. And that's how easy the slip knit is. Do you see how it has a lean to it? Isn't that cool? It's a left leaning decrease. So let me see if I can do just a couple. I'm going to reorient these stitches, and when I'm reorienting the stitches on my needle, I have a horseshoe here. There's your horseshoe, and I grab it from the right hand leg, so the right hand leg is in the front. So if you were to drop your stitches off the needle, for instance, and you go, how do I get my stitches back on the needle? Well, let me take this off. Usually what I like to do is I like to use a smaller needle, but since I don't have a smaller needle in front of me, you can just grab it with your needle that you have, and you just grab those right hand legs. For beginning students, I'll tell them just grab it any old way that you can, and then go back and reorient every stitch before you begin knitting. But if you look here, I'm just grabbing this right hand leg so that it's in front, and that way I know that my stitch is oriented correctly. Now, I have a friend, Mary, who knits left-handed. And when you knit left-handed, of course, your stitches are the opposite. The left-hand leg will be in the front because she is going in the other direction. But anyways, suffice to say, if you're right-handed and you're knitting right-handed, some people are left-handed and they knit right-handed, and some people are left-handed and knit left-handed. But if you're left-handed and you knit left-handed, the left-hand leg would be in front. But for the rest of us, the right-hand leg is in front. And if you ever get confused and are not sure about the orientation of your stitches, just open that stitch up so that it is like a horseshoe, and grab that right hand leg. So you can look at your work and you can tell where exactly you are in your work. Just by looking at that, you can tell how to orient your stitches by looking at your actual knitting that you're working on. So let me go backwards here. I'm going to go back, and we're just going to do just a couple knit two togethers, even though I already know that you know this.
You're going to knit backwards? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm just going backwards on my work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a couple of oops, that one's oriented wrong. Did you see how the left hand leg is in the front? So we put the right hand leg in the front, and then we go ahead and knit. So I'm going to knit a couple stitches.
What are you showing them here?
A knit two together.
Okay.
So you would knit two stitches just as if it's one, as in you take your right hand needle and put it under the second stitch and come up through and just knit it. That is a knit two together. Let me show you one more time. You have count two stitches over, go into that stitch as if you're going to knit, and just knit one stitch, but you knit two. And that's all there is to it. It's super simple. And that is how you knit two together. And if you look right here, there is our knit two together. Isn't that cool? And that is a right-leaning decrease.
What does that do again?
On the hat, if you look in here, these marks that are pointed up and to the right are a knit two together, and the ones that are going from the left-hand side of the square down to the right are an SSK.
Okay.
So that's what it is on the pattern. And these little squirrely things are knit through the back loop. But if you make your increase doing a make one right, or a lot of people will just do both of them as a make one left, it would be perfectly serviceable on this. And if you look at your pattern here, on this smaller size, it's numbered at the top. It has a 16 stitch repeat. So you can increase or decrease your hat size accordingly. I could take, if I wanted to do a lace weight, I would just increase the amount of stitches. And if you look here, the pattern for the small size is 96 stitches, and for the larger size it's 108. So I originally thought I was going to cast on for the 108. Then I read all the reviews, and then I decided that I needed to cast on the 96 stitch repeat. So, but it's a super easy pattern, and if you look here, it's super pretty. And it's kind of like a pocket hat. It's totally fantastic. So if you guys haven't tried any of the Very Busy Monkey patterns, we have, they're on our website, and they're for sale, and they're really good patterns. And so I just think it was kind of, unique and a pretty pattern there. So don't be afraid. Even if you are a beginner, you can accomplish this kind of pattern. make sure to use stitch markers for every 16 stitches or 18 stitches, depending on the size. And don't forget, when you're knitting your hat, try it on as you go, right, Jim?
Hey,
Because we try ours on as we go, and I show it to them, and I look in the mirror, and I say, is it tight or it's loose? So what I'm saying is there are so many people who knit the whole hat and then say, it's too big. And I'm saying, there's really no need for that. Throw your hat on your head and try it on. And don't knit the whole thing if it's going to be too big. Drop it down or do something different, or take off a repeat 16 stitches or what have you. And then you can get a product that you can actually wear. So it's pretty cool. What
Hey,
were you going to say?
well,
Jim?
two things. You were talking about smaller or thinner yarns.
Uh-huh.
Could they use our new Coeur d'Alene yarns?
Well, you could possibly use Coeur d'Alene yarns. And here is some new, we just got a new stock in, huh, Jim? And here's some of our colors, and we've had these hand dyed for us by a wonderful lady who lives locally. And this yarn is beautiful. These colors are meant to go together. And so if you see, do you see how nicely they go together? Because we had them dyed.
Why don't you tell them
so
what they are,
match
so if they
us.
want to get them, they
Match.
can.
What's that?
What are the colors so they can see?
Oh, okay. So on, let's see, this one is not labeled.
We just got them in.
This one's called Naughty Lumberjack.
Well, that's the Lumberjane. That was
This
the one.
is Lumberjane.
Yeah, Happy Lumberjane or something like that.
Yeah, we made funny little names for them. But if you look at them, you can smile along with me. We have very creative staff members, so it's pretty cute. And then this one, that's the Hunky Scotsman. Isn't that pretty? I love brown, and I love these colors, so it's beautiful. And let's see, this is a new color, and oh dear, I forgot what Tara said.
We just haven't got them tagged because we just got them in.
Yeah, you won't miss it on the website.
That's royal
So-
something, royalness, something royalness. Because they said it was purple for royal. I remember that.
Anyways, it's beautiful. And so we have, if you have tried this yarn before and you want to buy more, we had sold almost all out of it, right, Jim?
Yep.
And then we just got a new stock in.
And what's it called?
And it is called our Sasquatch. Sasquatch yarns. And it's a fingering weight yarn. And what it is it is a merino wool, and it has a bit of cashmere in it and some nylon. So you can either make socks out of it or scarves or, knit to your heart's content. I love the colorways. So awesome. All right, so don't forget about our contest as we're going along. And our contest, the way that you enter to win, you put in comments in the comment section. Maybe you talk about what you're working on. Maybe something that you enjoyed. Hey, maybe it's something that you liked that we talked about today, or some thing that you were able to solve on your pattern that you were working on when you were making a hat. Or maybe some great ideas how to avoid pitfalls, when you're making your hat. So make them so they fit. Whatever it is, post that in the comment section, and then you're entered to win. So for this last week, we had this lovely baby alpaca, pure alpaca from Cascade. And let's see if I can find a winner for this. Oh boy, I know it's here somewhere. Oh, Carly Kemper Cheese Brew? Carly Kemper Cheese Brew. You won! Yay! Congratulations, Carly. You won this lovely alpaca yarn. All you have to do is get in contact with Alpaca Direct customer service and let us know what your shipping address is, and we can get this out in the mail to you. And don't forget, for all of you out there, the knit clubs just went out, and so let me tell you a little bit about our knit clubs. Our knit clubs, I kind of designed them, and we have a bunch of designers that help us, right, Jim? And we use yarns that are tested and that we love, and so we share them with you. And then we give individual patterns, and I have a whole bunch of videos, right, Jim? For each project to help you through each little section. So maybe, you're working on something and you read that section and you're a little confused. Look for the actual YouTube video in your knit club that's talking about that section. And then you can get help, and I'll help you work through it. So it's pretty cool.
And that's going to be important for this one, right? Because they're going to have some challenges.
Yes, you are, but oh my goodness, it's so lovely when it's done. You'll love it. So you just have to follow the instructions, watch the videos. I would venture to say we have had a few club members that come in and they need a little help. And do you know that if they would have watched the videos, they would have never needed help. They would have been good to go, but they forgot to watch the videos. So I remind all of you out there who are in the knit club to don't forget the videos, because I go through, how many times do I knit this? A bunch of times. So that you can, and I go through each little section so that I'm working along with you and we can show you how to do it so you don't get stuck.
Hey,
anyways,
I have a cool request. So, because I see some of the comments coming in.
Sure.
So, if there's people part of the knit club and your knitting has gotten better, because I'm seeing all the comments and people are saying that, but can you let people know that?
Yes, that would be a great idea. Yeah, so for those of you who have knit projects with us and you have improved your skills, maybe you can talk about that. And guess what? You'll be entered to win the prize for this week, which is a skein of this lovely baby alpaca yarn. And then we can also help other people learn, so they can get, you know, the judges award prize at the fairs, and if not that, just to make beautiful projects that they can be totally proud of. And it's so much fun learning something new. So I would venture to say, if you like learning stuff new things, go to our knit club and check it out, because it's pretty cool. And let's see here. So for this hat, hats make lovely Christmas gifts, don't they? They're totally awesome. And making a cute little hat like this that can be done in one night that fits by Very Busy Monkey, the Paragon hat, is a great way to go. And don't forget, if you are going to make the project, don't forget to check out reviews so that you can learn from other people and maybe not have the problems that they had, because they show you how to fix it. So it's totally wonderful. Our knitting community is fabulous, and there are some very talented knitters out there. So knitters are wonderful, and crocheters, of course, because they help each other. We help each other. So it's totally fun. I'm taking a look here to see if there's anything that I had forgotten. And when we're making our projects, don't be afraid to change the actual yarn. If everyone's saying it's too big, drop down, a yarn size. So for this project, it called for worsted weight, right? And what is the yarn that's directly below it in weight is DK, right? And then below that is sport weight. And below that is fingering. So you can use different weights of yarn, and that way you won't have to change the squishiness of the fabric that you get. You won't have to kill your fabric to get the right size for your head. You can actually just change the yarn and not worry about making your gauge too tight that it's not squishy on your head.
Oh, Carrie's watching, it looks like, so, or Carly. So
nice.
Cheeseburgers. So
congratulations, Carly. You won this lovely yarn, and I really enjoyed this yarn. And Cascade has done a really good job with their colors. I like the colors that they have right now, and I love the softness of the hat that it creates. So if you are interested in this hat, it is a wonderful project. Or you could just, make up your own design too. So I hope that you guys have a great week. This next week, I'm going to be talking about the One Skein Wonders again, and we're going to be talking about the Knit Club, and we're going to be talking about, what else we do? Oh, the Michelle Hunter Knit Along. So we have a very busy week, and I will see you next Tuesday. I hope you guys take care, and I'll see you soon.